Hello, everyone, and welcome to NASA Bunker 33. I am your host, Quiddy's the Sprinkler. And lucky for all of us, Booma is not here tonight. So maybe it'll be a good show. Uh,
One can only hope.
And I forgot to run the. I literally forgot to re-enable the media source for the opening movie, so we didn't get that today. Oh well.
oh, well. Well, our producer that never fucks up anything ever, Doomy, how are you doing tonight?
uh, I'm doing fine.
I think you just tripped her up by saying she doesn't fuck up.
Exactly. Well, she never fucks anything up ever.
No, I
So
never fuck
there you
anything
go.
up. I never fuck anything up.
And we
Are
also
we
have
live?
Little Wolf. How are you doing tonight?
Hello. I'm doing okay. Just
Great.
sipping on coffee.
Nice. How's the weather up in Alaska?
About 40 degrees, so
Oh,
there's still snow on the ground.
nice. Well, it's not that different down here in North Carolina either. Uh,
Uh,
even though it's supposed to be like close to 90 next week.
Oh, good
oh
lord, that's
God.
too hot.
Yeah. But right now it's in the 40s. So
Yeah,
I'm loving it.
I much prefer it when
So,
it's nice and cold like this.
yeah, me too. Uh, I don't sweat all the time. I don't get sweaty just looking out the window when it's this
Yeah,
temperature.
yeah,
And living in the South, that does happen. It's so hot, you get
yeah,
sweaty looking out the window.
yeah. You do. It happened. Unfortunately.
So, before we start tonight, I do want to bring this up. I just want to say, rest in peace to Dwayne Haskins, the quarterback for the Pittsburgh Steelers, was hit by a car this morning and killed.
Oh.
He was 24 years old, and he was crossing a highway in Florida, and a truck hit him out of nowhere.
Oh,
So a a life cut tragically short. He was incredibly talented. He was the quarterback for Ohio State and was predicted to be the starter for the Steelers this year. So it's a big loss.
Oh dear.
But anyway, now that we got that business out of the way, uh, I bet the people that we're going to talk about tonight didn't see it coming.
No, definitely. And look at the title of the.
They could have warned him if they did, you
Yeah,
know.
yeah,
But as we'll see with these people tonight, they didn't see a lot of things coming.
and if they did see it coming, they got it
it was a
wrong.
plant.
No, they got it
Yeah.
wrong. They got it completely wrong.
Or just out of sheer dumb luck, they
Yeah,
got it right.
yeah, or the sheer don't look. The bad,
So yeah,
yeah.
we are
Pretty
talking
much.
about fake psychics tonight, which, psychics are fake,
Yeah,
period.
yeah,
But these people are the scum of the earth because they prey off people who believe their bullshit,
yeah.
and they make a lot of money, and they they should be beaten to a bloody pulp, in my opinion. This is not the opinion of NASA Bunker 33. This is only the opinion of Quiddy's the Sprinkler. Trademark.
This is a
Um,
This is. It's my opinion too. It's my opinion too. They should.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
uh, we, we do not condone violence at NASA Bunker 33. We are not telling you to go out and beat these people to a bloody pulp. However, what you do in your own free time is up to you and you alone. And with that disclaimer out of the way, let's see, what do we have tonight? What's our first video?
Holy Kool-Aid did a very nice compilation on drifters. I think we should watch a Holy Kool-Aid video.
All right, and if you're not subbed to Holy Kool-Aid, go sub.
Yes,
He's
definitely.
pretty awesome.
Holy Kool-Aid's pretty awesome, yeah.
They descend like vultures. Never in the history of the world has a psychic solved a missing child case. Never.
Psychic shows like the Long Island Medium possess an editing room advantage, in which they can take all of their misses over a several hour-long recording, show only the hits, and wow their audience. But what happens when they go outside this comfort zone, appearing on other people's shows, particularly live shows? Well, our brains are still wired towards confirmation bias, where we focus on the hits and ignore the misses. That is, until we start to look for the misses, for the psychic cringe fails. But this can get tedious, so to save you time, I've put together a compilation of just that. This is part 1. Enjoy.
Who lost the spouse? I think I'm right here. Your wife has departed? Is that her wedding ring?
No, it's my mother's.
Do you still have her chair?
No.
Her hair, though. That hair. I
It's
mean,
like Bobby's mom's world hair type thing.
that's like
Or
the
Bobby's world.
that's the Karen. That's the Karen.
It's a lot
hair.
easier for me to talk if I'm not muted. Yeah, she definitely has the Karen hair going on pretty hard right there.
Just that
But
high.
this is something that I love about these quote unquote psychic shows is watching the full version of their tapings where 95% of the things they say are completely wrong.
Yeah.
But
Oh.
then they get edited down to a nice tidy little 30-minute show for like a 4-hour taping where they get right answers, and that's what people actually see.
I have to say, I actually, my mother went to one of those recordings with John Edward. I believe she stayed in there some total of 6 hours. And they pulled 30 minutes of that 6 hours for his TV show.
No,
because
that's not cherry picking at all.
because 5.5 hours of that was nothing but pure misses. Because he would like guess a letter, come to them, it's like, oh, they died of dysentery or something. They're like, no, it was a boating accident. Like, oh, I must have hit the wrong person then.
Oh, sorry, no. Who over here? I'm getting something from over here about Oregon Trail.
No, I
Died of dysentery.
I just made it up, okay? That was the first thing that came to my mind. It was Oregon Trail, dysentery.
Did
Well,
anybody
maybe John
lose
Edwards
somebody
should
with
die
a
of
name
dysentery.
that starts with J? Anybody?
That's also a
Putting
thing.
J sound, a j or a g or a k or a f,
J-
something, anything, please.
Please, just give me a name. Give me a name. Any
Are
name.
you talking about Sharon?
Yeah,
Yes, that's
that's
it.
the name. That's the name. Yeah. I was looking for a G, but Sharon.
And was
yeah.
Sharon your wife? No, I don't fucking know a Sharon. All right, anyway, keep going.
I was
Or
thinking
did she have
something
an
else
issue
when you
with-
said Sharon, your wife. Sorry.
I mean, who hadn't swung a little bit here and there?
Oh, and I had to point out, also, yes, I agree with you, Robert Williams. JM was definitely robbed of his rightful award again. I mean, he
Yes.
did come in 4th place. 4th place is pretty decent for JM.
For someone that has made one flat Earth video in the last year,
Yeah,
to come in
exactly.
4th place is pretty exceptional, I
Yes.
must say.
Yes, it is. It's very exceptional.
And I have to think that, you know, the nomination video might have had a little bit of something to do with it, because whoever made that nomination video did a damn good job with it.
Yes, they did. They certainly did.
Especially almost becoming a neurosurgeon or whatever it was.
Oh God. No, that was Nathan Dobson.
Oh, I know, but he's the one that brought it up.
I love that. Nathan was almost a neurosurgeon. And then he was like, "No, I didn't say he was almost a neurosurgeon. I said he was smart enough to almost be a neurosurgeon."
Hmm.
And that's JM's MO right there, is to say something incredibly stupid and then to deny that he said that incredibly stupid thing 5 minutes later.
Yeah.
And he'll even say, like, "You can go back and rewind the stream and you'll see that I didn't say it."
Then you go back and rewind the stream, and he said those exact words.
Yeah.
Like
Oh,
verbatim.
JM.
Like verbatim.
We should probably cover JM at some point. I think he's
Yeah.
a good topic.
We haven't
you know.
covered him yet, have we?
Yeah.
Surprisingly.
All right. Back to the video.
Yeah.
Her legs prior to her passing.
No.
Was there an issue with the legs where your husband was bed restriction? Is that correct?
So you'll always know
Yes.
when you talk to a family member, when you start a case, you'll know if this person is dead or
Yes.
alive. Every
I-
time.
Oh,
Does
yeah,
this girl
I'm
look familiar to you?
Yeah, she does.
Oh,
I
this
worked this
is
case.
epic.
This is a girl who you said was beaten and killed.
Okay.
This little girl is me. And you told somebody that she's dead.
This little
Yeah.
girl is me. The person you said is dead is sitting right the fuck in front of you talking to you right now.
Yep. That was an epic takedown right there. I gotta admit that was awesome that she was able to confront her like that, because god
Yeah.
damn.
I mean, that's a pretty epic swing and a miss right there.
Yeah.
That's why you just cover it by saying, well, I'm glad you like survived and you're healthy.
Yeah.
So, when you were a little girl, were you dead at any point?
Did you die at any stage of your life?
Uh,
Were you beaten to death and then miraculously brought back? Because I never mentioned that they stayed dead.
yeah.
Just said that
You know,
she
kind of like
died.
Jesus, 3 days dead, came back, you know.
Yeah, just 3 days later, like a really shitty game that takes 3 days to respawn.
Yep. All right.
Wait a minute. You didn't
Wait a
disappear?
minute.
I'm right here.
Well, that's interesting, isn't it?
I'm
All
right
told,
here.
10 different psychics told our producer that Lisa had been murdered. And the FBI says to Inside Edition that they are not aware of any criminal investigation that has been solved as a direct result of information provided by a psychic.
We do see massive energy.
Well, I can say, okay. I can say that the show Psych has no bearing on reality, okay? Though it wasn't
True.
though it was an awesome show. And an awesome premise. But
I'm pretty sure The Simpsons has a better batting average at predicting things than psychics do.
yes, they do actually. That's
And didn't like James Randi have like a $10,000 challenge or
Million.
something like that?
$1 million.
Is that how much it was? Probably
Million.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it was $1 million. It was either 100,000 or $1 million. Yeah.
It's actually one of the videos that we have planned tonight. That
Oh,
goes
okay.
over the James Randi thing.
See, I saw it coming.
Yeah, it's like you're a psychic or something.
I
Anyway,
just rubbed my ball the right way, that's all.
just your ball?
I did that
For now.
earlier.
Just one of them? Anyway.
Grid blackouts and cyber attacks by May or June. One feels like it's in the Northeast, East Coast, New York area or Washington area. We think Hillary Clinton will be elected president.
Wrong.
That is absolutely
Wrong.
I'm starting with a gentleman, first off, and with this man, who? Reg?
Wait, pause.
And he's also mentioned Frank.
What the hell is that logo in the top right? TV burp.
TV burp.
TV burp. TV burp.
That sounds like the worst channel ever.
Is it like
Vishanti.
one of those stations where they have like
Vishanti in the
they have
chat.
to start with like a B or a W, like when they have the radio stations that have to start with either a K or a W?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
I always wanted one to be
Why
called
is
on.
Vishanti in chat and not in the
Here.
call?
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was about
Hint,
to say.
hint, Vishanti.
Hint, hint, Vishanti.
Also, if anyone in chat would like to come on the show,
Yeah.
because we do have one more spot, just drop a DM to me or Zumi, and we'll bring you in.
Yeah. No problem.
Anyway, back to the stupid.
Thank you. Okay, what's that uniform? In his younger years, I can see the uniform. In his younger years, please, I don't know what he was in the Air Force. I don't feel he was a pilot because of his attire, but he's keen to show me that, and he's transported back.
Just love the looks these people have on their faces, like, the fuck is he talking about?
So
And they
you're
have that
seeing
George
that he
Carlin
wasn't.
look of confusion.
Yeah, pretty much.
This is so stupid that it gave that guy Forrest Whitaker eye.
Oh God, no.
At least that got him money.
Yeah, yeah.
Into the older age in which he passed. He may not even be family, he may be just known to you.
Frank or Reg? Anyone?
Okay. Yes, please, could you, a microphone, bless? What do you say?
Good afternoon. My father, his name was Hugh, and he was in the Air Force. And he didn't fly, he was a civil engineer.
That'll do.
Glynis? Do you know
Close
Glynis? Or Glennis? Living, physical?
No, it doesn't ring any bells.
It doesn't.
Earlier, I invited 3 mediums to a one-time Victorian chocolate factory where they all channeled the name George, an evil fat man who was the factory's first manager.
She's given me the name of George.
George. The only trouble is that George is part of a made-up story that I planted on the chocolate factory website a week ago. Astonishingly, Goldie has actually summoned the ghost of my made-up factory manager.
So what's his name?
I've got George and I've got Bull.
We chose the surname Bull for a reason.
Have you ever noticed how many psychic storefronts there are in Manhattan? I wondered what would happen if I got my palms read at all of them. Do you think they would say the same exact thing? How long will I live?
Oh, hell no, they wouldn't say the same thing. It would be all completely different. Because psychics are bullshit.
Yep. Even if they
It's
were
like
all
getting
trained
tarot
by the
card
same
reading.
person, they would all be different.
Yeah.
Because nothing about your palm is going to tell you anything about your future. Period.
No. No.
Oh, mine's hairy. Does that count?
I was about to
That
say.
tells me about your past and what you were doing earlier.
Yeah.
And that you should probably start masturbating with Nair to avoid hairy palms.
Yeah, definitely.
That'd be a bald wolf then. There we go.
Yeah.
Late 90s.
To your 80s and your 90s. Shows beyond your 80s. She was born to live into your 98. 90, 91,
91.
I don't know who put this lovely picture in here. Oh, you're upstairs. Is this something called the barn? Is his name Bernard or Barnard?
No.
No.
Why would he say that?
That's our nan.
We
Oh,
have a
your
video
nan.
about her.
Sorry.
All the things that
Untap
you
for
channeled
tonight.
today, like, you know, George Bull, that all came from a story.
Why is he wearing electric tape on his lip?
Maybe they didn't get the corporate sponsorship for his mustache. So they had to cover up his mustache.
My hair doesn't help much either.
Yeah, no, it doesn't.
He looks like the kind of guy that has never seen a female naked.
Never seen a female or a male.
At least in person.
At least in person.
I mean, the internet is a thing, but
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
That I made up. Does that mean that you cheated?
I did. I don't think it was ever a chocolate factory.
That's the one thing it was, Goldie, I'm afraid. Yeah, you see, you've even got the truth wrong.
Yeah, I know.
We dropped our psychics in the middle of a massive pine forest.
Oh, this one.
There's a rescue chopper waiting for them. Our psychics have just 15 minutes to find the chopper. They've got a map that shows an outline of the area and then something belonging to the pilot. So a personal effect, you know, keys, wallet, something like that. And then our psychics will use that to sense, you know, the right direction.
How did they do? Let's have a look. Most of them veer off to the right and get lost, rather than making a fairly straight path to the helicopter. These aren't just any psychics, they are the top 10 in Australia.
I'm curious, was the helicopter running? Because if it was,
That might help.
literally all you have to do is walk towards the sound that you hear.
Yeah, just walk towards the sound. That's all you have to do. But yet,
Suddenly I'm getting that scene in Starship Troopers when he's trying to guess the card and he's like, statistically speaking, you should have guessed one right by now.
Doogie Howser.
oh, you mean Neil Patrick
All right,
Harris?
I think this is James Randi right here, isn't it? Wasn't this one of the things he did?
I'm not sure completely.
Oh. Well, let's see.
Yeah.
From hundreds of applicants, we've narrowed the field to the top 10 psychics Australia has to offer.
I can see her.
Story is fake.
Oh no. It's a car. Terrible. Back to start.
Will I be married?
I see marriage for the next 2 years. You'll be married in your late 30s.
The 10 years about.
I would say maybe no later than 2 years.
At least 3
years. Major commitment's about a year and a half away. Maybe a child, but not marriage. You're not the marrying kind.
Almost 9 years ago, Amanda Berry's mom went on the Montel Williams show where resident psychic Sylvia Brown spoke of Amanda.
I don't think I'll ever see her again.
Yeah, in heaven. She's gone, honey.
Then who's this?
Help me, I'm Amanda Berry. I've been kidnapped and I've been missing for 10 years and I'm here, I'm free now.
That was a big story.
There are two jagged.
Yeah, that was a really big story back in the day.
Wasn't it in Detroit? Like the guy had kidnapped her and 2 or 3 other girls, and they were locked up, and she was able to escape.
Yeah.
I think so, and I remember seeing this one black comic who was talking about, like, I think it was a black child that was taken and then escaped from her people and was able to get home to watch herself on the 6 o'clock evening news.
Ariel Castro, 3 girls for 10 years. Thanks, Vashanti. Even though you should be, you know, in here, not in chat, but hint.
Whatever. It's Vishanti. Vishanti's like the honey badger. Vishanti don't give a shit.
Yeah, Vishanti don't give no fucks. Horrific stuff. He actually had children, fired them, and there's no way I can make that sound less horrific.
Yeah.
Eating nuggets.
Yeah.
Eating chicken nuggets. He's eating chicken nuggets, so that can be that can be forgiven. Yeah.
I do understand.
Yeah. That's completely
Nuggies
understandable.
hold more importance.
Yes, yeah. Nuggies are life.
Yes. We should start a Bunker 33 clothing line. and just have like a shirt that says Nuggy Life. Or Nug Life instead of the Thug Life shirts.
Nug Life. With a chicken nugget, just a giant chicken nugget in the middle, like Nug on the top, Life on the bottom with a giant chicken nugget in the middle.
Yep.
Little sunglasses on it.
Wearing sunglasses. Chicken nugget with sunglasses on. Yeah, there we go. We got our first shirt idea.
Vishanti, I just figured out your homework for the week.
Yeah. Yep. There's your homework, Vishanti.
Time to start designing our shirts.
You know she's gonna make one of you two do it.
Yeah, she probably will.
Yeah.
She'll just outsource it to me because
That's what normally happens with everything.
yeah, it just gets outsourced to me. I'm like, okay, I'll do it. Fuck it.
Yep.
That's why she makes a good supervisor.
Yeah.
Or me, I wait until like an hour before the show, and then I'm like, oh shit, I was supposed to find videos for the show. So I go on YouTube and find videos real quick.
Yeah, literally 30 minutes before we started this, he sent a video in the green room, and I'm like,
Yeah, I actually had several, and when I went to copy the first one, I go to the green room to put it in, and I'm like, holy shit, there's like 10 videos for tonight already, so I just did the one.
Oh, I was busy. Okay?
Yeah, I see that.
Anyway.
I wasn't expecting that.
Boulders, which look really misplaced.
He could be found near
He's near the boulders.
Is he still with us?
Sean was found alive, not stuck between jagged boulders, but in an apartment in suburban St. Louis.
Is it possible for a psychic to read the history of an instrument just by touching? Please welcome Nella Jones.
That's just a little thing. That's just getting into a lock of some sort. I felt class with that one. This one, God knows why. I'm picking up a heavy tire, so I don't know what that's being used for. Sorry, my darling, best I can do.
You examined 6 objects. You got no information from 3 of them, and you got incorrect information from the remaining 3.
All right. Maybe the father of 2 children. He's going to be a father of 3 kids and boys. I see 2 boys and a girl. Your dad showed 2 children in the future.
I'll adopt 2 kids.
Was somebody murdered? Like, murdered?
No.
Not just murdered, but murdered.
Where their action.
Not just murdered, but murdered. You know, murdered until they died to death?
Yeah, I'm gonna murder you until you're murdered to death.
I'm gonna kill
Treat them
you
like
until
those
you're
Scottish
done
and
with death.
kilted them.
I'm gonna kill you until you die of death.
You gotta watch
Kill
out
you
for
till
those
you die
Scots
from
and their drive-by kiltings.
I like killings. Don't you so hard you died to death. Yeah.
You may take our lives, but you'll never read our palms.
Brought about how they got there. If anybody over there has somebody who crossed over like that, that's kind of how they showed it to me.
No, we're seeing lots of.
It's connected to Michael, if it helps.
I had an aunt. Her name
Say it
was
again?
Moira.
Okay, I'm getting someone now whose name is. Kenny. Kenny says hi.
She'll be given the 12 biographies. Then she'll do a tarot card reading on each subject. To win, she has to match the person to the correct bio 9 out of 12 times.
How convinced are you that you're going to win $1 million?
I'm convinced. I see that you're a person that's ambitious. I'm going to go with this one.
This is your final answer?
I bet she doesn't see this coming.
If this is your bio, I want you to turn it towards the camera. If it's not your bio, I want you to crumple it up. Now, it looks like you've got one right.
I still believe I'm psychic.
What do you make of that?
It's what's the term? Stubborn. I guarantee you one headline you will never see is this one. Psychic wins lottery again.
Thank you so much for watching. This is part of a several-part series.
Yeah, this is part of the several-part series, but we're not getting to the second part of that yet. First, we're going to go into psychic fraud, ghost trickster, and Long Island medium sale.
You know, I just have to say, James Randi was a fucking OG. The dude was incredible. The world is a worse place without him.
Yes. Fairly true. But yeah, John Edward getting busted for hot reading. Yeah. Vishanti, weren't here earlier, but I went over how my mother went to one of his little shows, and they literally basically had to fill out this entire questionnaire. It was basically a small book that they had to fill answers into before you could even get into the audience.
Yeah, that That's a pretty common tactic, and maybe Vishanti, maybe you know this. I remember someone took a radio to one of these one time, and they
Yeah.
were able to tune in to the frequency that the stage manager used to communicate with the quote unquote psychic and give them the answers based on the cards that people filled out. And they ended up
Yeah.
recording it. And they were like, look, this person's saying something, and then he's saying it right after they do.
Yep. They totally busted him on that. 'Cause they had bugs in the audience.
Yeah, that was one of the things that I was looking for this week, but couldn't find it. Uh, but yeah, they had the cards that you filled out, and the
I
person just
think
had the cards.
actually I think it was Penn and Teller who did that.
Maybe
Penn and Teller bullshit had an episode on
I
psychic.
remember they had one on there that was like that, but I don't think they did the picking up the mic part.
And Mark Beiser
I
says
know what you're talking
he
about.
saw a video where someone jammed the radio signal. That would be pretty epic.
Yeah, it would be.
Like all of a sudden you're stuck in front of the audience with no one feeding you what you're supposed to be talking about, and you have to wing it.
That would be like me earlier. She died of dysentery.
Be like 45 not having his prompter in front of him.
Yeah. Yeah, like Trump without his prompter in front of him.
Yep. All right.
And
So what do we have next?
We're very, very angry at those people out there who try to fool people into thinking that they really have the powers. They don't. I can't prove that they don't, but then the onus of proof is on them. I don't say they're not magical. They say they are. Prove it.
Exactly.
Psychic fraud news. Because psychics are very often frauds.
What do you think? Oh, I don't have to think. I know. What do you know? I have knowledge of Guru Maharaji. I have Guru Maharaji's knowledge. I don't have to think. I know. I have Guru Maharaji's knowledge.
I've been speaking to my dad all day, asking him to come through. Now I'm a skeptic. I'm hoping to get a message from my nan and granddad.
I understand that, the spiritualist side of things.
When I walk out on stage, I'm Sally.
It's why you fail.
Words will always retain their power. Words are for the means to meaning, and for those who will listen, the enunciation of truth.
A psychic and ghost hunter who was caught out because his mate, his friend, was up in the attic making bumps and bangs for him.
Oh yeah.
He claimed it was.
While we're on this, I went ahead and this from Rob Lester Films. Pretty decent YouTuber, 431,000 subscribers. If you like the kind of content they do, this is exactly the type of content Rob Lester covers. So go ahead and show him some love and go subscribe. Anyway.
This is an old parlor trick too. The whole psychic medium speaks to ghosts, and they have an assistant hidden in the house, or raising the table by putting their foot under one of the legs and picking it up with their hands and their foot and stuff like that. It's a parlor trick that's been around for a couple 100 years now.
Yeah, I was gonna say during like Victorian times.
Yeah.
Yeah. That reminds me, remember the show Ghost Hunters?
Yes.
I remember one time that the place had actually had small electronic devices hidden throughout the area in order to accomplish exactly that. And they had like a one-way mirror, for instance, where you would see a flash of an image, what looks like, a young girl's face that's, black out to make it look ghostly. they had little motors set up in the main dining hall to where it would shake the lighting to make it look like something's making it move. They had small radios hidden in like the bedroom area where because it was like a basically like a bed and breakfast kind of area type place, I think. That had no, it was a hotel. It was a hotel, yeah, because it had the hotel area and bathrooms and uh cafeteria area where common where you can eat breakfast.
Also
But
makes me think of
yeah,
what was it? Grave Encounters, the movie.
oh, that was good too. Yeah.
And they had that psychic that was pretending to be one, and then they would like pay the other guy a bunch of money to be like, yeah, here, just come say this.
But yet they got really pissed off when they actually looked into each of these little things because they saw where the motors were that because they were allowed continuous access to the area because the people honestly thought they wouldn't go looking further than skin deep basically.
Yeah, that's the MO of all of those ghost hunter shows, though. Ghost Adventures was really bad about it, setting up, things that they could trigger something falling or something like that.
No,
And
Ghost Hunters.
at least Ghost Adventures, though, that show was hilarious because that Zach Bagans guy was such a douchebag. And it was like, okay, so this douchebag's just going to go around and yell at ghosts for an hour. That's kind of funny to watch.
I always loved it when they did that, and then like something supposedly would happen, and then they would run like a little bitch.
Yeah.
Come at me! Oh no, it moved my hair! Run away!
God, we're gonna have to play that next.
Hey, evening, guys. And
Hey, Bob.
Hey.
Hey, Bob.
I gotta say, I do specifically remember an episode of Ghost Hunters where it opens up and they tell a lady, "Sorry, ma'am, your house isn't haunted. You just have shit plumbing."
Yeah, I remember that. I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. They didn't even record anything because it was just that stupid because it just had fumes leaking up from I think it was the septic tank that was causing her to hallucinate.
Well,
There was another old like
No,
unsolved mysteries one where like they had this one guy come out and say, "Oh well, your house isn't haunted. It's just there's a bunch of water running through limestone under your house."
Oh God.
yeah. And no, the one with the Ghost Hunters, that it was just that she had shit water pressure and it caused the pipes to knock around and it would
Oh yeah.
force open the taps. So I guess it's a good thing she called some hunters whose day job is plumbers.
No, the one I'm thinking about, they had really bad like
Oh yeah.
The electric system was really bad, and it was causing them to have. There's a certain type of syndrome that some people have that causes them to be uneasy around open electrical signals, which it's actually a clinical diagnosis. It's someone who's very weak to the electromagnetic spectrum, and if there's a bad wiring in a house, they feel it, and it can be very disorienting as well as very
Yeah, it was blamed a lot back, 50 years ago or whatever. Like people would go crazy from living under power lines or something.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, apparently Vishanti put something in the green room.
Yeah, well, let's watch this right
Well,
here.
yeah,
We'll
we'll
watch
we'll
that
finish this
after.
first.
Finish this, and then we'll watch that next.
All right.
Maya Pisa Gravis?
What? Huh?
I was just looking up the disorder thing.
Oh yeah. But yeah, there
Something
is there is a disorder which makes people weak to the electromagnetic spectrum and can actually end up having hallucinations as well as suddenly onset depression from it. It can actually make you depressed. It can make you disoriented, get you sick, like really bad. Anyway.
Oh, they had something like that on Mythbusters when they were checking like the frequency.
Yeah.
Like
well,
sound frequencies.
Well, it's not everyone that
Oh,
has
that
it.
was the episode they did the brown note.
Yeah. Brown note. Which they could never find the actual brown note. They said it was too far below human hearing to be able to actually accomplish.
Which sucks, because that would be awesome. Just imagine knowing the brown note and being able to make people poop their pants at your will.
Wasn't that the premise of a South Park episode?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if I was a superhero, that would be my superpower. The ability to make people poop their pants.
Well, if you did that, then no supervillain would ever get away with anything because they'd be busy shitting their pants.
No supervillain would ever want to face me.
Exactly. They'd be like, nope, I give up. Just take me to prison already. I don't want to deal with that shit. Literally.
Oh, crap, here comes shit, man.
Anyway. Oh, shit, man. God.
Poop Pants Man.
Oh, shitty.
That's
shit
who
man.
I am. Poop Pants Man.
Yeah, they would just call you shit man. The shitter.
His name on the streets. He has some like sparkly name, but just shit man.
Shit man.
W.C. Deuce.
Yeah, W.C. Deuce. Anyway.
Paranormal phenomena in previous sessions and then was caught out, and now says he won't do the psychic work anymore. He won't do the ghost hunting anymore. He's going to stop that.
Brown
because
pants.
He's been caught out.
Brown pants.
I suppose. However, he is going to continue with mediumship. So basically he's saying he's going to stop the ghost hunting because he's got a bad reputation. Because he wouldn't actually get many people going to his ghost walks anymore because he's been so heavily exposed. But he is going to continue mediumship. So instead of doing ghost walks every week, or how often he does it, he's going to be doing psychic events where he claims to talk to the dead. And then in years to come, I have no doubt that he will go back to ghost hunting, and people would have largely forgotten his recent acts of fraud. As with practically all psychic frauds when caught out, this particular former ghost hunter, and I would say fairly obvious fraud, is basically claiming there's no proof. Oh, you can't prove it, it's just skeptics, you're cynical.
Very rarely, I think, is there any real belief in it, other than the fact that if you are spending your life lying to people, how do you deal with that other than rationalise it in your own head after a while and decide, well, I do kind of believe in it, and I do believe that intuition, it may not be psychic, but I do believe that I'm intuitive, and that maybe that does give me an insight and it comforts people, and you start to rationalise it and maybe create a sort of a loose belief around it that follows after the fact. But I think very few people get into it at that level from any kind of sincere beginnings.
There is a great little article on randy.org, which is the James Randi Educational Foundation's website. The article talks about the Long Island medium. The Long Island medium, as many of you would know, is a medium at Long Island. And she's on TV, and she's known as the Long Island medium. And she claims to contact the dead.
She's like the manager of Karen's with that hair.
Program, where there's a few bits where she does readings, heavily
She's
edited,
not the boss
lots of prior
Karen,
knowledge,
but she's definitely
and,
higher up.
cold reading.
Yeah.
So you'll find it to be as transparent as practically any.
Just look at those eyes, though. Like,
Pender reminds me of Vicky Guerrero from wrestling.
and I picked the perfect time to pause too, didn't I?
Yeah, of course. She looks like she has never walked into a single business in her life without having to ask for a manager at some point.
Yeah.
May I see your manager, please? Like, why? Just walk in. Because I just
Like,
want to see the manager.
as soon as she gets out of her car, the clerk's like, I'm gonna need a manager up front here.
Yeah, just immediately, just send the manager.
I don't know why,
psychic,
but
of
we're
course
gonna need a
people believe
manager.
in it. And the believers, they go, oh, it must be real, and therefore they pay huge amounts of money for a one-to-one reading, or simply pay a large amount of money for a show to go and watch this particular person demonstrate their gift. Yeah.
Oh yeah, this is just comments. Yeah. Yeah.
All right, let's see what Vishanti has to show us.
I think it's really about humanity. So people keep asking me,
this looks like something that the YouTube terms of service is going to love.
Of course.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's not like we really give a shit what YouTube says.
Yeah, we really don't.
when do I think that this is going to shift? I think it's going to shift when people start taking their humanity and community more seriously than their 401ks. So I think that the measure of success for people for the last 3.5, 4 years has been, wow, the stock market's great, or my 401k is great. I'm going to look past some of the other stuff that might be taking place. And this is not political. This is just literally the times that we're in. And I think it's forcing us to look at our sense of humanity and community.
Wow. I think Kevin was saying something similar but different yesterday.
It's 10 seconds at a time. What time did you say again, Vishanti? Oh yeah, this is not political. Oh, this isn't political. Right.
Yeah.
That response, though, reminds me of my daughter when she's like disinterested in something. Wow.
Yeah. She did look like she didn't really give a shit what he was saying. She was just waiting for him to shut up.
Yeah.
Shiny forehead.
Yeah, they do.
All right.
They do have shiny foreheads, don't they?
Because he was like,
Yep.
I think that we have all been so spoiled, and the younger generation doesn't understand responsibility and
The clip.
you know,
No.
kind of the
She's
grown
here.
up kind of things. And he's like,
You should stop playing the clip now.
Yeah, we can move on to the next video now.
That's all I wanted to say. I wanted to stop you because if we get copyrighted for this, I tried to tell you in advance.
But
I'm
we
just
didn't
saying.
see it coming.
I was like, play 10 to 15 seconds. He said what he needed to say. So there you
Okay. Okay.
go. And I'm out. Bye.
All right.
Wow.
Back to Holy Kool-Aid and
Back to Holy
his,
Kool-Aid.
his series on psychics.
Yeah. Oh, that's loud. There we go.
What did you say?
I do not believe that Houdini can come back to me or to anyone after faithfully following through the 10-year Houdini compact, using every type, medium, and theon. It is now my personal and positive belief that spirit communication in any form is impossible.
Despite
And
the
it
James
only
Randi
took her
Educational
10
Foundation
years.
offering $1 million to anyone who can provide proof of the paranormal, there has been no empirical evidence put forth whatsoever that has stood up to scientific scrutiny for any supernatural claim. In spite of this, our brains seek out confirmation for supernatural claims, focus on the hits in a psychic reading, and somehow dismiss the medium's failures. So I've compiled some of the best psychic fails in this video to make them easier to spot. Oh, and this is part 2 of a series, so make sure that you check out the first one, which I released yesterday. Enjoy!
Yeah, these videos are rather old.
So is the
yeah.
housing market going to now get stronger? Yeah, it will. It certainly will.
This is an extraordinary period for America's economy.
Lehman Brothers will file for bankruptcy this evening.
The world's largest insurer
That
faces
was a
potential
fail.
ratings downgrades. It too teetering tonight.
Look, I'm the first one to say what I do is crazy. You have 3 children.
I have 2 children.
And you had a miscarriage.
No, I didn't have a miscarriage.
One of them is a really good writer, or he wrote like a good essay or something.
Well,
phenomenal.
Maybe that's going to happen in the
Yeah,
future. He's a
there's
horrible student.
Claims that she can reveal key personality traits about our 3 mystery celebrities just by holding objects that belong to them, including a watch, a flower, and a croissant. First object.
This is a watch, obviously.
Career, what sort of career?
Career-wise, I'm going to
could
say
be
either
anything.
writing,
That's
creative. So she's somebody, either she's got a book or it feels almost feeling of writing. She's passionate.
You know it's a her.
Yep, it's a
lady's
feminine watch.
It's a man.
Do you have somebody, family, that is a J or an M?
A J and an M? Really? You went with the most common guy's initial and the most common girl's initial? I'd be more impressed if you went with a Q and an X. Funny, I'm getting a B and an S.
Duh.
Oh, yeah.
M. Is it a male or female M? I don't know.
You don't know? Then what's the point of being psychic?
Is that your mom?
As my daughter.
Is there another Mary or Marie deceased or middle name like this from your husband's side?
Okay, pause it for a second. Okay, so can you bring up the video I just put in the green room and play that real quick? It's only 6 seconds long, but it's very relevant.
Stop! I could have dropped my croissant.
Sorry, as soon as I heard croissant, that's all I could think of.
Croissant.
He says it so proper there.
We wanted to know if there was a young boy that passed in the family.
No.
Right.
No, there isn't.
August the 3rd, does that have a meaning? Is that connected to that grandmother? I mean, it's a big thing, a big ask, Christine, because you haven't even been thinking of that.
No, August the 3rd doesn't ring a bell
You know,
at all.
who is James on that side as well?
James?
Yeah, or someone I do might have been known as Jim or Jimmy, I don't know.
No.
Because
we are seeing various terrorist attacks on federal buildings. Yeah, particularly South Carolina or Georgia.
Really?
By July 2002.
No.
And also the New York Trade Center, the World Trade Center in 2002.
Nope.
Just off by a year.
So
Just off by a year.
close.
Just off by a year. Just 1 year.
I mean, considering Al Qaeda said that they were going to attack the World Trade Center again after they failed to knock it down the first time in 95 or 96, whenever it was. I mean, that was a pretty easy one. She just swung and missed on it still.
Yeah. By 1 year.
It's like that old Robin Williams joke. I don't know where, I don't know when, but something terrible is going to happen.
What I tried to ask is, whoever is gone, will you please just show me which envelope they're sort of contained in?
Wait, did that say he was a psychic stockbroker?
Yeah. Yes, it did. Yes. Yes, it did.
That's like the dumbest thing you can claim to be, but I do like the timestamp that we paused on.
3:33.
Minutes.
Yeah. Nice. Nice. Anyway.
You believe that's a dead person? That is a living person.
Attempt 2.
This one is a live person.
He was supposed to find Elvis Presley.
Elvis Presley.
We know he's dead, right?
Absolutely. I'm considered very good at what I do, and boy, am I bombing.
Flawless victory.
My daughter, Michelle, was 17 years old. Sylvia, I don't know how she died. Please, if you can, how did she die? She was shot.
Circumstances around her death?
She just collapsed in a room.
I lost my boyfriend tragically a few years ago. They never found him.
The reason why you didn't find him is because he's in water. You can't find somebody.
Well, it was September 11th. There was no. He was a fireman.
Is there any way he could have drowned in water some way?
They never found a piece of him. Nothing.
In 2005 on the show Most Haunted,
on September
parapsychologist Dr.
11th?
Kieran
I don't know if she even knows what happened on September 11th. But,
There wasn't really water involved at all.
No, there wasn't. Unless you just
Well,
count
he
the...
was a fireman with a hose, so...
That's what I was about to say. That's the only water that was involved, but can't really drown in that.
I mean, the firemen didn't even really use hoses on that day. At least not in New York.
Not New York, no.
In Washington, D.C., I'm sure they did, but there really wasn't a reason to in New York.
Maybe that field where the other plane went down.
No,
Yeah.
What Vajanti just said. The rescue fire team drowned them with their water hoses.
Or maybe someone gave him a swirly in the airplane toilet while it was crashing.
Okay, that's what it was then. Okay, yeah. Definitely.
Aaron O'Keefe fed psychic Derek Okora the name of the ghost Creed Kafer after Derek pretended to be possessed on the show by that ghost.
Is he telling you something, Derek? Is Sam giving you a name?
The name Creed Kafer was revealed to be an anagram for Derek Faker.
There are people right now that are like watching this going like, what? He's crazy. She's making me feel like when she passes either around or on a governmental holiday or something that would be celebratory, but for the country. We're talking about like either July.
September 11th.
Was he killed? Just yes or no, as best as you can.
No.
Cancer?
No.
I'm saying this to you, John Edward. You are a liar, you are a fake, and you are the biggest douche ever.
There's also something with the back. So I don't know if she used to sit and have a pillow with the back of her, or is that you?
No.
And what about trouble with legs?
No.
You not walk as well as you used to.
Oh no, he walks very well.
Okay.
Have you come here?
You know that previous guy? You know who reminds me of?
The My Pillow guy.
My Pillow guy?
No, actually no. I was thinking, what's his name? Cliff from Cheers.
Cheers?
Yeah. Like a really fat Cliff from Cheers. I can't remember the actor's name right now.
I know who you're talking about. He was also in House 2, the old horror movie. Well, horror/comedy.
And he did the voice of, I forgot what car in Cars.
He was the piggy bank in Toy Story.
Yep, yeah. John Ratzenberger, that's his name, John
Yes.
Ratzenberger.
But he does look like the My Pillow guy too.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, he does. John Ratzenberger is actually one of my favorite actors of all time, but sadly he passed away a couple years ago.
You know what really sucks? I went to Boston once, and I went to Cheers, and they didn't fucking know my name.
Wow, how rude. That's so rude of them.
Well, they didn't see it coming.
True.
Yeah.
Here to try and communicate and bring this child through.
No, not the child.
She keeps talking about a separation here, a divorce, or there was some type of split up going back quite a while.
No.
Alors, Jean-Fabien, vous êtes voyant, n'est-ce pas?
Exactement, je prévois l'avenir.
Et celle-là? Hein? Tu l'as pas vue, celle-là?
Okay, why she mentioned 17 years ago?
That was funny.
That's what everyone should do. When someone claims to be a psychic, just slap the shit out of them and say, "Did you see that coming?"
So like the Lion King smacks him with the staff.
Yep. Did you see that coming? What did the Five Finger say to the face?
Slap!
I'm Rick James, bitch.
Cocaine's a hell of a drug.
Is the Jimmy or James connected?
Is James Brady gonna have to smack a bitch? Wayne Brady. Wayne Brady. What else?
Wayne Brady.
Wayne Brady gonna have to smack a bitch?
Well, Will Smith can now.
No. Yeah, Will
She's
Smith
saying
can,
yes on grandfather's side.
No.
Now, I'm also aware of a lady coming through as well. I'm pretty sure is that it was connected to a mum. Would she have been one of 5?
Yes.
Yes. I feel it's connected to the 5 which was connected to your mum when she said it was one of 5. I've got the power! And she said 5 of them. So you would know that was your mother coming through.
Think about it now afterwards. Sorry, it was 6.
What was 6?
Yeah. I said a quick count on my fingers, and I thought of 5. Then including me mum would have been.
So she was one of 6, not one of 5.
No, one of 6. Yeah.
The police told us there is no recorded instance of psychics solving a criminal case or providing evidence or information which led directly to its solution.
If you see a psychic show, just put a sticker on it that says cancelled due to unforeseen circumstances.
Thanks so much for watching.
That's
Make sure
another
that you check
good
out
one.
part 1, since this is the second of a several-part series. Next week, I'll be answering the...
Yeah. The one done and dusted. And next up we have another... No, this is different. This is the same dude. Yeah.
Yeah, this. I think this is the one that I put in.
It is?
Psychic Sally, the crazy bitch that said that the queen was going to die, and then Princess Diana died, and she said that she predicted it.
And Psychic Sally. Yep, this is the one you put in. Yep.
Here's 10 reasons why Sally Morgan is a bad psychic.
What is going on?
10. Princess Diana's psychic. Sally Morgan did several readings for Princess Diana, and several others for her sister, and so has become known as Princess Diana's psychic. She's used that relationship, which was very limited, to bolster her career. She's even claimed that she predicted a number of the conditions in her life, including the way in which she died. So out of a series of long readings, with lots of information given across, Sally suggests that there's going to be a car crash, and that the Queen was going to die. She thought it was going to be the Queen, apparently. So allegedly, these readings, she mentioned on one occasion she saw a body being pulled from a black car, and she thought it might be the Queen, not Princess Diana. And of course, remembering that detail, or alleged detail, makes it seem to be mildly convincing. However, it only really fits, and is remembered to fit, because of people looking back to these readings that happened in the past. And was there good information given in what could have been hours of information? Considering Princess Diana had several readings, if they were only half-an-hour readings, and the best information was a few vagaries about a crash and a death, which have then been put together since actual events happened, is that really evidential?
What the fuck is going on?
9. Censorship. Many of the critics of Sally Morgan have been threatened with lawsuits, and even people uploading videos where they point out a few basic facts end up with their video being taken down by an organisation called Web Sheriff. In effect, Sally Morgan was censoring the web from critique. Some blogs were shut down,
that.
some websites affected, and YouTube videos, simply pointing out where she did indeed use an earpiece, were basically taken down. Naturally, people like myself counterclaimed and didn't end up being sued. Why was that? Surely if Web Sheriff, and indeed Sally Morgan working through them, had an actual case against my work and the work of others, we would have been in court and sued for every single penny if they had a case.
Okay, if you're going to rattle
The fact
a
they had
bag
no
of
case,
chips, mute.
and the footage used was covered by fair use, shows that they were simply using censorship as a tool.
What the fuck?
8. Psychic investigator. In the past, Sally Morgan has claimed to work with police on investigations. She even claimed it on her website up until 5 years ago, when she removed it and never mentioned it again. This kind of tactic is quite common, where a person boasts their abilities or alleged abilities and activities, make out they're more than they actually are, and when they get caught out, they simply
Pause
remove
it
the
for a
information
second.
from their website.
I can just hear James Randi saying it. Not once has a psychic ever assisted
Yep.
in any police case.
Yep. Not once. But yet Sally Morgan kept on repeating it, the lie, saying, "Oh, I've plenty of police cases. I've solved plenty of them. Not a single
Yeah, a
one."
lot of them will claim, "Oh, well, I helped solve this case and I helped solve that case. I have 27 cases that I've helped the police with." But I do want to say it sounds so familiar about videos about her being taken down,
Yeah.
copyright claimed or whatever.
Yeah.
You know, how many times have we seen bullshit artists or conspiracy theorists or whatever try to false strike people?
Yep.
Too many.
Yep.
You get called out on your bullshit and then you abuse the copyright system.
Yep. Pretty much. SVG News, for instance. Or
Yeah.
Liz
Of course, there's always Daniel Pratt.
Daniel Pratt, yeah. Because he's definitely a Pratt.
That poor water heater.
Water heater.
Didn't he move? Didn't I
think
hear
so.
somewhere that he moved and he doesn't have his water heater anymore?
I think so, yeah.
It's not like I'm going to go to his channel and watch his videos, so
No, I'm not, no.
I cannot confirm, but I did hear that.
Deny.
Yeah, Garrus tries to call me out on my bullshit all the time, but unlike most bullshit artists, I don't care if you call me out on my bullshit.
Yeah.
I know that 95% of the stuff I say is bullshit.
Yeah, exactly. Call me out on my bullshit, and I'll be like, okay, yeah, I lied. I bullshitted. Yeah. Yeah, fuck it.
We're a group of trolls, of course we're gonna bullshit.
Yeah. That's like half of our job is to bullshit. That's what we do.
That's
There
why
used to be a
NASA
show
hired
called
me.
Poop in a Can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway.
And hope that no one notices that they're covering their backside.
Oh my god.
7. Talking to the living. In 2014, at a theatre in Middlesbrough, Sally Morgan was doing one of her favourite acts, doing readings on photos. The idea is that you take a photo along of a deceased relative and she attempts to create a connection to that relative. However, on this occasion, a woman handed in a photo of herself, perhaps not understanding the premise that you're meant to hand in a photo of a deceased relative. So Sally Morgan did a reading as if she was communicating with a person in the afterlife. Then the woman told her it was actually a picture of herself, not of a deceased relative. Due to this mistake, the event was largely disrupted by laughter and confusion.
One pathetic loser.
6. Unhappy fans. There are numerous people who've gone to go and see Sally Morgan and not been impressed. They've not seen a quality of work that truly exhibits a psychic or spiritual ability of any kind. According to some people, she's simply not very good, doesn't offer good readings, or seems to offer lots of random information. The kind of...
I want to pay money to sit there and listen to someone just randomly guess things.
Yeah, that sounds like complete fun.
Oh wait, no, the opposite of that.
Oh wait, yeah, the complete opposite of that. Yeah.
If I was gonna have that happen, I would watch Penn and Teller's Fool Us.
Oh, I love Penn and Teller's Fool Us. Oh, it's actually entertaining.
Mm-hmm.
But they're getting paid to bullshit on stage, and their tricks are actually quite entertaining. That, however, is not.
And when you win, they literally give you a big trophy that says "F you."
F you.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
They're
there's
told
actual
us.
entertainment value in that.
Yes,
Unlike this, you're
exactly.
literally just listening to someone wildly guess things.
Not even that, really. They're just making shit up, and at the cost of people's, actual um
You're
uh,
preying
Expense.
on people who have,
yeah,
lost a family
exactly,
member or a
exactly,
friend or a loved
exactly.
one.
You're playing on their emotions, and then expect them to give you money for preying on their emotions. The worst kind of grift. Like, seriously. Continue.
Fans who've said this have ranged from people who like TV shows about psychics to more matured spiritualists.
Uh-oh, retard alert!
5. Photos. I mentioned photo readings, and Sally Morgan seems to have a speciality for photo readings. Very often with her shows, she'll invite some of the audience to give photos, put them into this bowl. She'll select at random a couple of photos and do readings. So on one well-known occasion, she picked out a photo and started talking about a man, thinking the photo showed a man, when in fact it was an old woman. She had to be told by the audience that it was in fact an old woman. But she carried on doing the reading and eventually made it fit. So she changed a few things, including changing the name Bernard, which she got when she thought the photo was of a man, to Barn, because apparently the women she was reading for had stables. And she said, does she get stuff confused, or did she get stuff confused? And they said yes. So they accepted Barn, even though Barn was not applicable, and originally it was Bernard.
Wait, pause.
And to fix the idea of it being a man, that she made a mistake initially.
Imagine that. An old person getting confused about something. That never happens, so it must be true.
No, it never happens. Old people are the most sane people alive, and they never, ever get things confused. What are you talking about, Quiddies? Old people are awesome.
I mean,
they ran our country before us.
Yeah, exactly.
Honestly, at this point, like, after hearing that right there, if these people still believe that she's a psychic, they still believe that she's somehow communicating with someone, they
There's something wrong
fucking
with them.
deserve to lose their money to her.
Yeah, honestly, yeah. I mean,
any person with just the slightest amount of critical thinking skills would see right through it.
You're talking about people who were hurt by someone that passed away, and they're missing that person, so they will grasp onto anything that even remotely makes them think that, oh, I can contact them even though they're no longer with us.
Or make them feel like the person is still around them.
Exactly.
Yeah, but then again, they did find out where the ticket for free candy was after Kenny died, when they were building the ladder to heaven.
Oh,
they were able to find out that he left it in his jacket.
Yeah, which
big surprise.
Didn't Cartman drink Kenny?
Yeah, he thought he was chocolate milk mix.
Yeah. Worst chocolate milk mix ever.
And then Chef's parents had to exorcise Kenny from his body.
Oh god, I think I remember that one.
Yeah, I remember that.
And they put it in a ham, and then Rob Schneider ate the ham and became Kenny.
Oh god. Anyway, enough
First,
South
I
Park.
swear, if someone who has never watched South Park hears that description, they'll be like, "What in the fuck is
What is
going
going
on?"
on? Yeah, like what the
But it
hell?
makes complete sense to anyone who's ever seen any of those episodes.
Yeah.
If not, cocaine's a hell of a drug.
Cocaine, not even once. Anyway.
She said after looking at the picture some more close up that she wanted to shave her because the old woman had a stubbly face. How do you get a stubbly face like that? Because of shaving. She probably had a hairy face due to medication or simply due to her chemical balances in old age. And so she said that was why she thought it was a man.
Of course!
4. Faker stress. Sally Morgan claimed that she was suicidal due to the incredible stress of being called a faker. So she played for this sympathy while suing several major papers. And she got a massive payout from the Daily Mail. She didn't get the money because she proved that she had genuine psychic ability. She got the money because of detriment to her character and possible loss of earnings. By claiming it as loss of earnings, she managed to get a massive payout. That was it. It had nothing to do with the allegations actually within the article itself, as much as the potential effect upon her career.
What matters is our plan.
3. On the spot. When Sally Morgan's been put on the spot, when she's been asked to provide evidence, right here, right now, she can't seem to provide anything of any real great value. A good example of this is on a radio show where Richard Bacon is basically interviewing Sally Morgan. And to test Sally Morgan, Richard Bacon's mum comes onto the show. So across the phone and the radio waves, Sally Morgan is put on the spot. And she fails completely. All she seems to offer is bad cold reading that doesn't work. And this low quality cold reading seems to match with what people claim she's like in theatres. But of course it's a lot easier in a theatre. We have hundreds or perhaps thousands of people who are willing to accept a message that might not be perfect.
You went full retard, man.
2. Abusive. Outside of a venue, on a public street, a skeptic was handing out leaflets pointing out how cold reading can work. He spoke to Sally Morgan's husband and son-in-law, and they were highly...
Yeah, cold readings can work, but whenever you do a cold reading, you're not actually contacting another side or something. You're just
Yeah, you're
bullshitting.
reading like body language and looking
Yeah.
for different twitches or certain movements or whatever.
Facial tics or body
And
tics.
you know, you're reading stuff like if it's a say middle-aged person who's sitting there alone. It could be their spouse died or one of their parents died or
Yeah.
something like that. You know, there's a list of a bunch of stuff that you do in cold readings. And the thing is, you're not going to be just reading one person at the beginning of a cold reading. And that's why it works well. That's why these psychics do it in with a huge audience,
Yeah.
is because, you know, if I say that I hear the name Sharon, if there's 200 people sitting in front of me, you're damn right one of them's going to know a Sharon that died.
Yeah. At least one of them, well, at least statistically speaking, at least one of them will have known a Sharon that died. Or at least...
Of course, they're going to want to do it in a theater too, because I mean, like they said, they get anywhere from like hundreds to thousands of people, and they get a certain amount of whatever ticket sales are, and it's like easy $1,000 right there.
Yeah, and that's why they always use the common names. That's why you always hear them say that they're contacting a spirit named James, because it's the most common name.
Yeah. Or Mary, or John, because those are the most common names.
Yeah.
To go back to the last video, am I the only one that was kind of laughing inside? His name was Richard Bacon. And
I was
Dick
thinking
Bacon.
Dick Bacon.
when he said bacon, I was thinking like, if my last name was Bacon, I would totally be a vegan just to fuck with people.
Oh God.
That's the only reason I would ever be a vegan, if my name was like Bacon or Steak or Pork Chops or Baby Back Ribs.
Why would your name be Baby Back Ribs? Like, who would
It's a
name their
family
kid?
name.
Who would name their kid that? Like, what? Seriously?
There has to be some backwoods place where they have that. In America, I'm sure there's somebody with that name.
Yeah, probably.
I mean, there are a lot of stupid names. There's a guy that plays football for the University of Alabama whose name is Kool-Aid McKinstry.
or who can forget Dick Trickle?
Dick Trickle is one of the greatest men to ever live. We do not talk bad about Dick Trickle on this show.
It's also a hairy sack. I remember me and my friends looked up weird names in middle school.
Yeah, there's some weird names out there.
Threatening, abusive, they were homophobic, even racist at one point. They threatened to beat him up, they threatened to call the police, they threatened to sue him, they claimed they had all of his information, and because it was filmed, Sally Morgan was forced to actually fire her husband and son-in-law as her personal staff. It gave her some very bad publicity because of the language they were using and the threats they were making.
Never go for retard.
1. Earpiece. When revelations about Sally Morgan potentially using an earpiece came out, she made a statement saying that she did not use an earpiece. People in a theatre in Dublin said they had heard a person talking from behind the scenes in a theatre, saying precisely what she said, but a few seconds earlier. It seemed to be the case that she was being fed information by someone behind the scenes. Despite claiming she does not have an earpiece, does not use and has not used an earpiece, she has been seen to actually wear an earpiece. The images of her coming off stage and taking off her earpiece in full view of the camera are from a biographical documentary. Many newspapers ran stories about it, stories that Sally Morgan could not refute. However, she sued on other grounds. So rather than suing over the question of her being a scam artist, a fraud, a fake psychic, she claimed it caused mental and emotional stress, that it was detriment of character, and was damaging her earnings. So she hasn't refuted the point that she was using a earpiece to hear information supplied about the audience. Although, to be entirely fair, it seems like the vast majority of her readings are simply cold readings.
You're shit out of luck.
And the shoutouts for this video are Sci-Fake, otherwise known as Rob.
Yeah, he just goes in a little...
What a terrible human being.
Yeah, yeah.
Just imagine that though, like suing because you're getting called fake and that's like hurting your business. Well, no shit.
Well, maybe try not being fake. Don't be a scam artist. And then getting called out for being fake and being a scam artist won't hurt your business.
Maybe
not have the guy behind the curtain stand further away from you.
Maybe
so the people in the crowd can't hear him.
Or maybe don't rip people off with the fake bullshit.
Yeah.
I mean, you can always not rip people off. That's an option.
Well, the fact that she's terrible at even ripping people off, but she makes a living from it. I doubt she's good enough at literally anything else to make a living.
Unfortunately, you are probably right on that. Unfortunately.
Now I'm like suddenly picturing Liar Liar when the one guy calls up and they're like, yeah, he wants your legal advice, and he's like, quit breaking the law,
Breaking the
asshole.
law, asshole. Yeah, exactly. Like, just quit breaking the law, asshole.
I need to watch that movie again. That was a great movie.
Yeah, it
I
was.
love that movie.
Yeah, it
What
was.
are
A
you doing?
goose.
I'm kicking my own ass.
Well, it's been about an hour and a half. I think it's about time we start wrapping things up. So, yeah. Y'all have anything to show?
Poker game tomorrow?
Yeah, there
Since
might.
Booma's not here to shill it.
Okay, yeah. The poker game tomorrow in about, what, 13 hours? About
Yeah,
12,
something like that.
12, 13 hours.
13, 14-ish.
Yeah, unfortunately, I won't be able to play because I'm playing D&D at that time. So
Yeah, I will probably be doing yard work. But you never know. I may be able to get in and, play a little poker.
oh, yeah, and I'm not doing anything. So what did we learn tonight?
People are shit.
Yeah,
Try and
Especially
be
people that call
vague.
themselves psychics.
Try and be vague
But
like
also in general.
Nostradamus' book of his quatrains.
Well, I guess I'll play us out then.
Yep. Everyone have a good night, and we'll see you
wait,
next week.
It's like, yeah, I do have my channel, and I know it's been a while since I put a video out, but life's just been weird for a while, but hopefully within the next week I should be putting my regular videos back up, like the vintage cartoon revisited and the radio plays on Wednesdays.
Yay! Can't wait.
Yeah. If you're not subscribed to Little Wolf, go do it.
Yeah.
And Garrus just realized that I'm wearing a banana hammock.
Yeah.
Which is more than I usually wear.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate.
Booma chased me out of the hot tub.
I'm just sitting here in my little sauna. Feels so nice and.
Well, I was also kind of hungry, so I'm getting myself a burger.
Anyway, good night, everyone.
Good night.
Bye, you awesome bipeds.
Have a wonderful weekend and exit stage right.
Okay.